there are two PYRO tokens. They are deflationary tokens, and one is on ETH and one is on TRON.
Cryptoslo, cryptocurrency news and investing.
Cryptoslo with more crypto gains. What's going on, guys? Well, it's been a while since there's been some action on the deflationary token side, and today we're talking about PYRO token. Let's get into it. First and foremost, there are two PYRO tokens. They are deflationary tokens, and one is on ETH and one is on TRON. I know this can be a little confusing. Like I said, they dual launched, and that's just what it is. So getting right into it, what is PYRO? What are they trying to do? PYRO is a deflationary token, and they're trying to create a social network, and they will have advertising. They're claiming privacy and free speech, and basically they also have a messaging app. I did download it, checked it out. It's pretty basic. It just looks like a Telegram. I'm not sure if that app will actually convert into the social network, and also I'm not really sure if you will be able to transact with your PYRO once that social network is getting on there. So going over social networking, digital advertising, a DEX, Dapps development, airdrops, roadmap. There is a white paper. I did read it. It seemed to harp on the fact of a thing called token velocity, and basically supposedly this has a smart burning capability built into it. Based on the white paper, though, it seemed like the burn was linear, but I could be wrong on that. Anyways, I have both of the official contracts as of today for 10 of the ETH on Etherscan, as well as the TRON on the TRON scan. With that being said, what do you have to do with your wallets for it to show up? On your TRON, you click on TRON link, asset management, and then you add the official TRON contract. I think that's better than actually typing it in PYRO, because I looked and it looks like there's already some fake tokens on there. So if you go down, you'll see that PYRO, it's the one with the asterisk, is added to my TRON wallet. It's the TM one. As far as the MetaMask, same kind of concept. Go over here, click on the lines, add a token, custom, go ahead and take the official ETH address, PYRO, next, add token. Okay, so I have 0 and it is on there. So overall, do I think this is much different than like Frag? I will say they seem to be crossing T's and dotting a lot of I's. They're on BitScreener and a couple other sites, and they have a coin market cap value already. It does seem like the ETH version is taking off a little more than the TRON version. I think a lot of that is there is more big money in ETH than there is TRON. So like I said, I went over the white paper, just talked about, you know, how awesome it's going to be, all these Dapps and this and that, and you know, it's definitely interesting. I did notice in my TRON wallet, I checked a couple of my accounts, it looked like they did a airdrop to people that are involved in other Dapps. So I think I had like 3,000 tokens in there. Moving on over to Etherscan. Pulling it up, I looked at the holders. Mercantox, which is an exchange, has a very large amount, but I think that's for liquidity. There are a lot of these tokens out there, so people are buying them. Yeah, there's quite a few. 22,000 holders supposedly on ETH. So yeah, crazy. Getting into the exchanges, the TRON one is on Polydex, PlayRoyal, and NewDex. But be careful with this. The price is wild right now, meaning it's all over the place. The spread did look really big on Play Royal, which it normally does. They're not too big of an exchange. But I went ahead and picked up a small bag on Polydex just to have. Let's check out Tron Trade and see. I don't think it's on Tron Trade yet. No. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Tron Trade lists it, because usually they don't do deflationary. But it looks like the burn rate is 5% anytime you move it, and those divs go out to the community. Now, as far as getting the ETH version, two options. You can go to Mercantox, which I've never heard of, sign up for an account. It doesn't look like it's a DEX. You actually have to deposit on here. And it is listed PYRO ETH at 35. So like I said, the price on this is wildly swinging, so be careful not to buy too big of a bag if this is something you're interested in. On Uniswap, as always, you take the ETH contract, copy it to your clipboard, and you go down here, select token, search for token, you just simply paste it in there, added by user. Now, what I did notice on Uniswap is if I take 1 ETH, I'll get 1677 PYRO, right? But let's flip that around. If I do this and type in PYRO, if I can type, okay, and I select ETH, 0.31. So you get a 60% hit if you go to sell it on Uniswap versus buying it. So the spread is absolutely enormous. Now, what do I see happening in the next couple weeks? The spread will tighten on this, and there won't be such a huge gap. So if I took 1 ETH and got PYRO, I got 1.67 million. But if I sell the PYRO, I only get 0.3 ETH. So you get absolutely wrecked if you sell it. So just be aware of that. Be careful. I would probably go over to Mercantox and create an account if that's what you want to do. Now, next, what Dapps do they have out? Well, right off the bat, they have a staking system. Let's see. So yeah, so that's the ETH version. So if you go up here to web wallet, there's ETH and there's Tron. I don't have any of the ETH, so I have a couple 100,000 frozen. I have I have a 500,000 frozen, and I've earned 33 in divs. So like I said, just be aware. I picked these up for like nothing, but I just wanted to be in early to get some soft staking going. So once again, as people move into the contract or sell out of the contract, you get divs from these people. Now, the total supply on this was basically like a billion. So just be aware of this. It's a lot. Now, it looks like the ETH version had launched first, so you've got a little more burn on the ETH side than you do the Tron side. So that's one of their Dapps, soft staking. Check your wallet. You may have some Tron in there if you're in Bankroll or any of the other Dapps. We'll go back to that. Okay, now as far as the games go, there are some games. Let's do a refresh here. Seems like the Tron one's like locking up and acting weird, so I don't know what that's all about. But anyways, PYRO War, it's a mini, it's their first app. Looks to be like a mini FOMO game. Not anything too much exciting on that. Now, moving back to, where was it? Oh, the roadmap. So looking at the roadmap, January, March, PYRO website, smart contract, multi-airdrop, self-jobs, blah, 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 blah. I have noticed that if you're in the Telegram, there is some, for participating, there are some airdrops that you can get on the TRON side. So baiting, launching the social network. So looks like in Q2 we're going to have this new social network. Now, what I will say, this has been tried before. There have been several people that have tried to launch social networks off of tokens, and they have failed. So it'll be interesting to see if this one gets some steam. July-September update, white paper rollout, earn drops, social network activity, testing of digital ad networks. So kind of like a Google Ads, but it would use PYRO. Holiday contest, Toys for Tots. Just this looks like some filler on the website to be determined. So overall, a pretty strong launch by this. Like I said, it's listed on multiple exchanges. They seem to have their things together. If you go to the TRX contract, so let's do that. And look at the TRX side. Now, the one thing that I didn't like was the fact that they went with the TRC10, but I think they probably, no, wait a minute. Oh, that's just on the contract. Okay. Oh yeah, the contract. That's what I was trying to get to. So it does appear to be open source, and you can review the code. Shows the Genesis block on here. As always, you should be able to interact with a lot of these sites and stuff through TRON scan if the site would go down. Now, with that being said, there's risk involved in all of this. We don't know who these people are. There's people pumping a lot of TRX and ETH into this. So yeah, just be careful, do your own research, and just make sure you don't get wrecked. Moving on to the communications side, there were two PYRO telegrams. One seemed to be like a read only, and then the other one allowed you to chat. I put the one that allows you to chat on there. So that's PYRO. Does it have possibility? Yeah, it does, but like I said, I always take this with a grain of salt. What I do know is, based on what I've seen in the past, I think the tokens that you acquire, don't sell them for a long time, because there's a billion of these things. There's quite a bit of things to come, and I would just hold on to your tokens for the long game. These deflationary tokens definitely are not short game, as you see with what happened with Frag. Frag's ecosystem is pretty highly developed at this point, and for me personally, I feel like it's too late to get into Frag because it's just so complicated, and there's so many Dapps, and there's a lot of whales in that situation. So at this point, you at least have the ability to possibly become a whale if you wanted to in this, but like I said, I wouldn't go too heavy. I would just throw a little at it and start your staking. Oh, and that is another thing to say. With the staking, if you're frozen in the stake contract, the good thing about that is there's going to be an additional 30 million airdrop, so you can get some additional PYRO from the drops if that's incentivization to get into the staking. So smash that like button. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, this is Cryptoslo. If you're not talking gains, then we're not talking.